There has been some huge news around our possible stadium being created, whatever you want to call it, the redevelopment of Selhurst Park, and it's looking a mess. As always, do not forget to follow this account for all the latest Crystal Palace news and updates. And I'm going to go into all the biggest information from this article for you right now. So the big thing being reported is that we are committed to the redevelopment of Selhurst Park still, despite the cost rising significantly. As you can see here, it was meant to be around 100 mil for the costs, but now it's going to be 200 or over 200 mil. Crazy. They are actually thinking about, instead of going over the main stand, they're thinking about demolishing it for a bit and then having temporary seats. As you can see here, a smaller set of temporary seating would be provided at the front of the stand if this approach was followed. But the main stand generates a lot of our revenue and we'd be crushing some of our hospitality, so what would we do then? Also, it was reported that the prospect of returning to our original home in Sydenham Hill in Crystal Palace, a few miles north of Selhurst, did not make it beyond initial discussions or a serious proposal. We've recommitted to the redevelopment of Selhurst Park, which obviously sounds class, but 7 years later of this mess, I feel like we should have just done this. As we all heavily know as well, we had a beef with Sainsbury's for years, and we've had to give them several £1 million to take it. Oh, mess. We absolutely got mugged off by Sainsbury's. We have started work, so that is true. That is what the club said last year, that we would start work this year, and we have. But it's very small bits of work at the moment. And to make matters work, starting this work has seen us find out that there are several issues which require big decisions to be made before major construction work can commence. As a result, the project has fallen further behind. Significant work is still expected to start this summer, but it's unclear what that will mean in practice. This is a mess, guys. And even though we were all led to believe, not by the club, but just we were led to believe that all the issues with the privately owned housing on or around the area were sorted, there's actually an issue with one of these houses. Someone's still living in there. Who are you? So, as you can see, 7 years later from when this was first announced, we are still nowhere near it being done. This is crazy. We should have just moved. I know this is a beautiful stadium. We have so many memories there. But if we do want to, create a bigger stadium, get more revenue in and do all that, then this or staying here seems like it's not an option if we want it sooner rather than later. I don't know when this is going to be done. This could take another 5 years, another 10 years at this rate with all the messes that we are seeing along the way. This is just poor. And I'm not fully blaming the club here. Of course you'd want to stay here and that.